Okay, hello and welcome everyone. Welcome to JFD Brokers Traders Tea Time with me, Darius Charles. Today is the 13th of September 2018. So welcome everyone. Welcome to this Thursday's afternoon session where we're gonna have a look at a few instruments. But before we do that, as always, let's quickly have a read through our risk disclaimers. So the content we produce does not constitute investment advice or investment recommendation, should not be considered as such, and does not in any way constitute an invitation to acquire any financial instrument or product. As always, a few seconds for you to read the rest and we can continue. Also, before we jump into the charts, let's quickly remind ourselves about our JFD Brokers website and specifically our JFD research page, where you can go in and have a look at different analysis that we do on a daily basis. So, yep, feel free to check us out, and I believe you can find a lot of useful stuff here. So, but for now, let's have a look at the markets. Now, the first one I want to touch on is the DAX. Now, the DAX is a very nice sweet spot right now. So this is the level that I was talking about probably throughout the whole week this week when I was covering DAX, and basically this is the one, and this is where it's currently sitting. So this is a 4-hour chart, and as you can see at the moment, the DAX is kind of it's fighting this key important level here at 12,100. As you can see, this level here in the past acted as a very nice area of support, and now it's kind of acting as a very good resistance. So the big question here is, are we going to actually close below this level, and then or actually we're going to make our way higher and maybe test this upside support line, this kind of short term, or no, actually it's more medium term upside support line. So let me just jump into a daily chart, just have a bigger look here, and as you can see, yep, we're currently stuck here just slightly below that 12,100 level. So at the moment, basically, guys, keep your eyes on today's close. If we're gonna stay below this, especially below this level here, there could be a chance that we could decline tomorrow. We could see maybe a bearish day tomorrow. But to be honest, still, even if we're gonna get a close here above this level, above the 12,100 level, still not all is lost for the bears, because they still have this this upside support line, this medium-term upside support line that got broken in the past. So now it could act as a nice area of resistance, and of course this could be a sweet spot for the bears to jump in, where we could see something like this, as you can see by the arrows here. So yep, for now, guys, keep your eyes on this. Keep your eyes on the 12,100 level. Certainly, like I said, it will be the one to watch for today. And if we're gonna stay here below this, or even actually if we're gonna stay here below this upside support line, still the momentum is still more to the downside. So we could see, like I said, the bears coming in here and potentially driving this index lower. Now, for us to start considering higher levels, let me just get back into the 4-hour chart quickly. This is the level that I'm currently keeping an eye on, the 12,250. Now this is the one to watch, especially because if we're gonna get a nice move back above this upside support line that I was just talking about, still we would need to see a nice good close above this 12,250 level in order to kind of start aiming for higher levels. So for now, certainly just like having a look at how everything is developing right now. So it seems that the 12,100 level continues to hold, but like I said, the day is not finished yet, so let's see how this ends today. Let's jump into gold quickly. And gold, I was covering this one this morning, and it's basically reacting nicely here. We're breaking this key resistance level here at around 1207, and now, as you can see, it's pushing higher. It's trying to make its way here towards this 1215 zone. If that doesn't hold as well, I mean, just slightly above it, we do have the 1218 here, marked by the highs of the 5th of August. But if that that doesn't hold, well, I mean, overall we are still trading below this downside resistance line taken from the 11th of April. So this could be a nice potential area for stalling, because this is where the big battle between the bears and the bulls could start, and over who's going to take the driver's seat from here. If the bulls continue to remain there, well, we could see a nice break here and a close above this this downside resistance line. Certainly this could attract more bulls into gold, and but for us, to be honest, we are keeping a close eye on this 1235 level. Now this, a nice good confirmation break here and a close above this level could potentially open the path towards higher levels like 1266. So for now, of course, let's not get ahead of ourselves too much. For now, let's keep a close eye on the 1215. If, let's say, suddenly this this commodity, this precious metal, reverses back to the downside and closes below the 1207, now we could be, well, this is the point probably where we should stay a bit cautious, a bit more to the cautious side, yes, because it could mean that basically the bears are still kind of fighting hard here to trying to push this this precious metal lower. Certainly for now, of course, we're way above it, so keep your eyes on that one. But like I said, just in case, if suddenly this reverses back down here and moves below the 1207, stay sharp. Certainly this I wouldn't say that this is a perfect opportunity to start selling, but nevertheless, I mean, we could maybe start examining a little bit lower levels again, maybe the psychological 1200. But again, like I said, for now, just keep on watching this one. At the moment, this is looking more bullish than bearish, and we are aiming for the 1215 level now. So and that's what's in regards to the short term. Looking at a few other ones, other instruments. Now, the one that I really wanted to touch on, and that's Ethereum. Now, Ethereum is getting a nice boost here today, and to be honest, all the cryptos, the majority of all the cryptos are getting a boost. So Bitcoin, Ripple, I mean, Ethereum is the one here that I'm watching, and as this week we saw this hitting lows of around 167 level, and now we can see that it broke here on the, looking from the short-term perspective, it broke this key area of resistance, which in the past here, or actually should I say last week, acted as a very nice area of support, this 185 mark. Now it's the crypto is aiming for the higher levels, so if we're gonna go small step by step here, at the moment, as you can see, this is like, it's near this 202 level here that acted as a nice area of resistance here, this on the 9th of September. Certainly keep your eyes on this 202 level at night. If this continues to push higher here, now of course we're on with this one, we'll be very careful and continue walking with like in small steps here, because the next potential area could be the 220, and if that doesn't hold, well, we do have a nice good potential area of resistance here at around 235 mark, approximately there. So this area, just to kind of show you guys and point it out, this area acted as a very nice area of resistance here on the 7th of September, so quite an important level to watch as well. And like I said, but only if we get continuous breaks here, initially of course breaking the 202 and then moving higher. So if we do get a nice break above the 202 here, this could potentially open the path towards this 235 level, and then maybe a possible move here towards this downside resistance line that's running here since, for, well, to be honest, running for quite a while here, since around the 6th of May. So could be a nice area where the crypto could stall for a little bit, and so yep, for now, just keep your eyes, of course, keep your eyes on these lower levels that I was just talking about, and then of course we'll discuss the downside resistance line later on if we see this crypto moving towards it, or at least being closer to that level, to that area. Let's jump into a few pairs now quickly. Euro dollar. Now euro dollar is getting a nice spike here to the upside. Mario Draghi, of course, is the person to blame for that, and we're having a nice break here above this 116.60 level that I was talking about this morning, and or actually for the full week I was talking about this level here to keep an eye on, because if we do get a nice close here above this level today, well, this could be opening the path towards higher levels like the 117.35, and then of course maybe higher levels if this 117.35 level doesn't hold. So just to point out the importance of this level is it was the high that we saw here on the 28th of August. So something for you guys to keep an eye on. Be very careful, of course, at the moment, or let's say even be careful with those shorts if you're actually, you know, planning to do so. I would probably recommend to stay away from the euro for now, just to observe it and just to see where it wants to actually stop and where it wants to basically where it wants to stop. I would probably say, put it that way. And as you can see, currently at the moment it's finding its resistance near the 116.90 level, and this 116.90 level played out as also as a nice resistance here on the 31st of August. So keep your eyes on that one level, on this 116.90. If this continues to push higher, well, again, like I said, maybe even we could potentially move towards the 117 or even 117 200 level, or sorry, do apologize, 117 115 level, approximately there. So, but again, let's not really rush here. To be honest, let's see what it wants to do and where it wants to close today. Probably we missed this move here already, so or whoever missed this move here, I would probably recommend to kind of just wait and see where this is gonna end up being today, and how the daily candle is gonna close here, and then we can actually go from there and see actually if we can jump in on the bandwagon here again and ride this wave higher again. So if suddenly this reverses back down and closes below the 116.60 level, now this is where it could become a bit more interesting for the bears, because we could see maybe a bit of a correction back to the downside. Certainly on the very short term, from the very short term perspective, keep your eyes on this little tentative, I would probably say, upside support line. So at the moment it's kind of dictating the way. So for now, keep your eyes on this, keep your eyes on the 116.60 level, and like I said, let's see where the day is going to close today. Let's jump into GBPJPY quickly, and this is an interesting one here because overall, as you can see, we're still trading below this downside resistance line here, taken from around the 13th of April, and of course, now we're getting closer to it, and we're breaking some key resistance levels today, especially this one being here, the 145.70 level, and now we can see that the pair tested the 145.95 level. So so keep your eyes on that one, and of course we're not just a few pips away from the downside resistance line that I was just talking about. So if we continue pushing like this, and as you can see, we're now continuing to push this, it seems that the pair really wants to break this line, and if we do get a nice close above this line today, well, I mean, this could turn out to be quite nice for the bulls, because they could see this as a nice perfect opportunity to jump in here and maybe drive this pair higher towards these higher levels here. Initially, of course, aiming for the 147.15, slightly above that we do the 147.65, but if we do reach those levels later on, or maybe let's say even this week, well, we'll have to readjust everything and see how it wants to continue. Certainly, and looking at the kind of more to the near term, we could see further acceleration in the rate if, like I said, if we get a nice close here above this downside resistance line. And the last pair that I really wanted to touch on here, and that's USD Turkish Lira. Now, okay, so as you are aware of the news, the Turkish Central Bank came out hiking rates today by 625 basis points. So as you can see, the lira strengthened on that. Let me just actually jump into a 4-hour chart on this one quickly, and we can see that well, it was trading here above this kind of well, probably would call it more tentative upside support line. We broke it nicely to the downside, and it met its support near the 200 EMA here, shown on the 4-hour chart, shown as the black line. So and that level was approximately, let me just quickly highlight that for you guys, and that level was approximately just fell shy of a few pips from hitting this key area of support here that we saw around the 26th of August. That's correct, and that was around the 5.9720 level, something like that, approximately there. So we were just, like I said, we were just a few points away from that. Now this, of course, now we can probably get rid of this line here because it becomes no longer relevant, but the one that's really quite more to the relevant side will be this line right here, the downside resistance line that's running here from this peak that we saw here in mid-August. Let me just quickly adjust this line here. It's kind of skewed a little bit. So until this line remains intact, we're probably still gonna stick to the downside, and we're gonna aim for lower levels, and especially if we're gonna see a nice break here below this key area of support here that I was just talking about, the 5.9720 level, approximately there. Now if we do get a nice close below this level, now this is where it could become interesting for the bears from the slightly more near-term perspective, and we could see further declines, maybe reaching this level right here around the 569 zone, approximately there, of course. And if that doesn't hold, well, we could see another decline here later on. But again, let's not get ahead of ourselves too much, and let's see what it wants to do with this level initially, or like I said, on the upside, well, we need to see a nice good break here above this downside resistance line in order to start positioning ourselves for initially, of course, positioning ourselves for this 6.80 level, approximately there, of course, and maybe aiming higher towards this level right here around the 7.10 mark, approximately there. We'll just round it up a little bit, so keep your eyes on that, of course. But for now, just looking at this picture, what's happening right now, we are a little more leaning towards the downside rather than the upside. Okay guys, I hope you found it useful. Thank you very much for watching and listening, and if you want to join me tomorrow morning at my Trader's Espresso, and that's 6 o'clock GMT time, 7 o'clock British Summer Time. But for now, thank you very much, and bye bye.